Hey everybody, happy Thanksgiving break. Sorry for not being able to make it to class last week. I was feeling under the weather and I'm still feeling a little under the weather today. So with all that in mind, today's video lecture is going to be fairly short. We're just going to cover what we need to get done for the MSU. I know there are a lot of questions about that. But hopefully today we can go over all of the essentials. What we'll do is we will go over the search log, then we'll go over what we need for the summary sheet. I'll walk you through exactly what writing the essay is going to look like. I've had some questions about length and how much to write and to expect. Just to answer that question here, I will provide a rubric in today's video lecture just to give you an idea of what we're looking for. But remember, you have an hour and 15 minutes. And so if we're asking for an essay, hopefully something that can be written within an hour and 15 minutes. I would honestly aim for an hour. I feel like that would be ideal. You can use the last 15 minutes to edit if you really care for it. But honestly, we're taking this from a 50-minute class and putting it into a 1 hour and 15-minute class like all of our other activities. So if you really wanted to aim for 50 minutes, most people have been able to write a 4-paragraph essay or a 5-paragraph essay. But yeah, let's not get too bogged down into that now. We can get into that. So what is the MSU? The MSU is how you research, identify core bits of information, and then integrate that into a coherent narrative, argument, or essay. It's a wholesale process that we're trying to get data on so then we can do further analyses. The idea here is that everybody's going to source information in their own unique idiosyncratic way, that they're going to identify what articles are most useful for them, they're going to identify what information within those articles are most useful, and then there's a question about how that information gets integrated with your prior knowledge and prior experiences into a coherent or logical argument. The MSU study is actually really interesting. I didn't think it was when I first heard about them. Everybody writes essays, who cares? But being in the real world, you start to understand that how people source their information and the way that they aggregate it, connect it to previous information, or transfer learned experiences into a new piece, a new article, a new scenario, and try to make sense of it is actually really sophisticated work, and it ties in a lot of the different concepts that we've covered in the course so far, as well as other concepts that we've touched on, like from philosophy of mind, how we assume other people are acting, from sociology, how we think groups or larger systems function together, or just general anthropology, like we've talked about at the beginning of class and ad nauseum about how people just accept information from people that they view to be trustworthy in their society. So this is actually a really interesting process. This is a really interesting project. And what we're going to try to do from this is just see where you are. This isn't about getting every thought that you have onto the page. We just want to identify all of these additional variables and factors in your actual essay writing process when you write this essay. The core bits of information here that should be useful to you are just following the steps that we're about to outline and following the rubric for when you write. Make sure you get as much information as you can in your search logs and your summary logs. The summary log will be the only piece of information that you have access to. If you just want to copy and paste the whole article into your summary log, please do that, or your summary document, please do that. So I would identify the key bits of information. I would summarize it in your own words if that's something that would be helpful to you. If you want to identify or copy and paste blocks or chunks of text, like a paragraph, or just identify a section of quotes. You could organize your quotes. You know what the question's going to be. The question's right here. And from here, all you have to do you should be set up. You just come to lecture on Tuesday, you get down to it, and you write your essay. It shouldn't be any more or any less than that. What to do is submit your search log so we know that you are on track. You will not have to submit your summary log until right before the MSU on Tuesday, so that will be due Monday night. And on Tuesday, you will come, you will take your essay, you will produce your essay, and I will give you very detailed feedback on your essay. The idea for this is to give you not only the opportunity to write an essay before the final, because there will be an essay on the final, so you can view this as being a practice run. I will not grade particularly harshly, but I would like you to try your best. Like I was telling you, this information may be used in future studies, and so your ability to reflect your regular working style would allow us to produce high quality research that will allow us to better understand how students like you and future generations of students are integrating information into their own worldview and argumentative rhetorical structures. The other thing to consider is AI. Please do not use AI for this assignment. You are not allowed to use AI whatsoever. Do not use AI when identifying searches. Do not use AI to identify the key points. You will not be able to use AI when you write the final essay for this MSU project on Tuesday. And so that brings us to Tuesday. On Tuesday, you will come into the class, you will bring your laptop. We will not be using the lockdown browser because you will be recording, you will have your recorded information, your summaries of the articles, probably in a Google Drive folder or somewhere on your laptop, and so you will need to be able to access that. I will just be walking around the room just to check to make sure that nobody's going on, nobody's shopping, doing their holiday shopping during class. And remember I said try to imagine that this is a 50-minute class or an hour-long class, and you can write your essay according to that. 4 or 5 paragraphs is fine. Number of pages, inconsequential. What you can finish in that class period is what you will submit. We will start exactly at 2 o'clock, and we will finish exactly at 3:15. You can have all of your saved documents and summary information in a Google Drive or saved on your computer. So we will not be using the lockdown browser for this task. I would make sure that you are familiarized with your work so you can easily access. Additionally, again, please do not use AI. It will throw a wrench into all of the research that needs to be done.
Okay, so that's basically it for the class today. What I'm going to do is publish the rubric for the MSU, and that's going to be available in the Week 13 module. And so we're also going to take a look at what those components are that we're really looking for in the essay. So I would look at the main components that are listed, and then also what a performance on those components would look like, and that grade for it. We're not really getting too deep into your writing quality or structure. We're really just looking at your ability to communicate information accurately. And so that's where most of these components are drawn from, and what they are analyzing. If you have any questions about that, you can reach out to me. I'm not going to belabor them because I think this is not a writing class, but if you would like assistance with your writing, you can reach out to me.